This is the technology I'm talking about in the Temple of Abydos in Egypt. It's right next to the Osirian temple, which is what really brought us all here today, the Osirian mysteries, which then became the mystery, a lot of those mysteries passed on into the Emerald Tablets. But you can see here clearly, that's me standing there, and I'm pointing up to the ceiling, and it's really an amazing sight to see. If you ever go there, you have to go to the Temple of Abydos. I almost didn't make it, because very few people, for whatever reason, go to the Temple of Abydos, so the flight gets canceled often. And the flight got canceled on me, and I was like, oh my God. So I was talking to this guy who was on a Nile cruise, and I was talking to somebody that we had just met out there while we were on the cruise, and he was like, if you want to go, I'll call and I'll book it, and I'll go with my daughters and everything, and then they'll have to take us out there. So he made a phone call and he booked it, and they said, okay, the flight's back on again. He was the one that kind of just teeter-tottered it over. Okay, it's worth the flight now, I guess, for the fuel or whatever. And we flew to Abydos, and it was amazing. It was the main reason I was going to Egypt was to go to the Temple of Abydos that time. So I'm glad I was able to make it. But you can see here it depicts, helicopters, planes, submarines, tanks, the whole works. It's up there, it's never been touched. So when people try to debunk it and go, oh, it's just because they overlaid this and overlaid that, I believe the guide. I don't think anybody's ever been up there to do any editing or changing of any glyphs in any way. The only time I've ever heard of anybody editing or changing hieroglyphs is when they were deleting them, like Akhenaten. He was actually chipping glyphs away to the point where it was nothing but flat stone underneath to erase history. Because he didn't want people thinking about multiple gods. He was ordered to bring everybody to a monotheistic mindset. He's the one who ushered in the monotheistic religion, basically, into the world, pretty much. By the way, one quick thing about that, the Exodus from Egypt. When there's a few mistranslations in the modern day Bible that a lot of people may not know about, nobody ever crossed the Red Sea. Say that again. Nobody ever crossed the Red Sea. If you go into the original language that the text was written in, you discover they crossed the Sea of Reeds. The Sea of Reeds, which is a much smaller sea and nearby, much easier to cross. Doesn't take away from the magnificence of it. I'm just saying, they never crossed the Red Sea. A lot of pastors know this, but they never change the story. They just go with the standard, regurgitation. But it's the Sea of Reeds that they crossed. There's about 14,800 mistranslations just in the modern King James Version alone of the Bible. So, this is me in Peru at Ollantaytambo at the top, at the very, very top there. What an amazing place to go to. And this is me at Machu Picchu in Peru. The air here was so clean. It's the cleanest air I've ever breathed in my life. Just an incredible place to go to. And here I am at Sacsayhuaman. If you ever need a guide to go there, you got to check out this guy's name is Elvis, actually. That's his real name. I can give you his contact information. A phenomenal guide. You can see the size of these stones. I'm 6'4". This stone is just a little bit above my head. It's super massive. These stones are super massive. And they come from 400 miles away. Some of them come from tops of mountains. And according to him, and he's a homegrown guide, they walked into place. Okay, so whatever that means to you, the stones walked into their position. Okay. And there's still gold, he says, and behind those stones, there's still hidden gold and jewels behind those stones. Now people have been forbidden to dig and try to track and look for any more, but there's still a lot of stuff behind those stones. There's a lot of wealth back there. Here I am now in Cambodia, and I'm pointing at a dinosaur. A dinosaur that has meat on its bones. So what that tells me is the people who etched this into this temple thousands of years ago must have known what a dinosaur looked like, which means dinosaurs most likely lived with men. So it's very important to understand that there's a lot of people out there that dinosaurs don't exist and they never existed and dinosaurs are fake and atmospheres are fake and all this stuff. I'm here to tell you, no, it's all real. This isn't the only place you can find dinosaurs etched into ancient artifacts and ancient anomalies. You can find them in Göbekli Tepe in Turkey. You can find them in Iraq. You can find them all over the world. These dinosaurs, there's an actual mastodon in a Stonehenge in America underneath the lake at Michigan, okay, which was recently discovered a few years ago. These dinosaurs lived amongst man. Dinosaurs are real. And what's amazing about dinosaurs is if you go to the museum, you discover that their bones are still radioactive. That's why they paint them with lead paint at the museums, to keep the radiation from penetrating and coming out and damaging people. So what does that tell you? Radiation in the bones. Interesting. Sounds like some type of weapon went off. This is me in Akrotiri, Greece, at a famous dig. It's about a 4-mile dig site. What was amazing here is this is one of the original Atlantean locations where they had advanced technology. They had piping, plumbing, toilets that flush. They even have a ventilation system to where if you're on the second floor and you flush a toilet, it sucks the stench and the smell and everything out with it, so the house never stinks. Just amazing technology. They had the holes drilled through 4 feet of stone, perfectly round drilled holes with a lot of machine marks on a lot of the work here. Just an amazing place. If you ever get a chance to go to Greece, go to Akrotiri. It's an amazing place. Just so on the island of Santorini. Okay. And this is the last one here. I'm at Teotihuacan in Mexico here. I'm standing on top of the Pyramid of the Moon at the highest level I can get to. There's one more level up, but that was the highest I could go. And behind me is the Pyramid of the Sun, which ironically is where they discovered there's underneath that Avenue of the Dead behind me, is what they call the Avenue of the Dead. There's these massive tunnels that connect all this together. And in these tunnels, there's something called this silicate. This silicate is like an insulator. So in these perfectly square tube tunnels that connect all these objects together in this plateau, there was insulation. And what did they find underneath this pyramid I'm standing on? A massive amount of liquid mercury. Liquid mercury, a massive amount of it. Now I told you earlier that I'm working on a ferrofluid vortex engine that runs off of mercury. So the anti-gravity properties are generated from rotating mercury. Why would they have that here? And why would they have to use an electric insulator inside these tunnels to connect these devices? I think that these are devices. I call them devices. I think this is a gigantic stone computer network. They really were amazing builders and had the capability of turning these giant blocks of stone into multifunctional computers. Oh, there's one more. The Yucatan Peninsula. I'm over here at the Yucatan down in underneath Mexico down there, going to Chichen Itza. I was standing in front of this giant pyramid is actually a gigantic calendar, an ancient calendar. One thing I want you to know, by the way, in Mexico, the Mayans didn't build any of these pyramids. Mayans and Aztecs built nothing, not one thing. Not one thing. Teotihuacan was never built by any Mayans. Did they live there? Well, they lived there a couple of hundred years after the Teotihuacans left or basically vanished. It was Teotihuacans comprised of Thoth the Atlantean, who left out of Egypt, the ancient land of Kem. His dad told him to come over there and kickstart a civilization, and he took with him Olmecs from Africa. He took Olmecs from Africa down there with him to kickstart and build an advanced civilization. Those are the giant heads that you see all over the region over there. All the homegrown archaeologists, even the mainstream now in Mexico will tell you, they give you a timeline. And on that timeline, it shows that the Mayans inherited what was already there, okay? Matter of fact, they're the ones who named the previous civilization Teotihuacans because nobody had even given them a name. They didn't even know it, so they named them Teotihuacan. So nobody even knows the original name. The thing that's amazing though, is the house that has Thoth's symbol on it or seal on it is still there. And I was able to go into the house. Now over there, he's known as Quetzalcoatl. He's known as also Kukulkan, Lord Pakal. Of course, he's got many names over many generations. But I was able to stand in this house. Still has a roof on it and everything. It's amazing to be able to go into a place where this person, that did a lot of these amazing things, actually lived and slept, laid his head for a few nights. But the Mayans, if you ever realize, they were always very barbaric, ripping out hearts and sacrificing virgins to get the gods to bring rain. And you go, well, how can they do all this crazy stuff and then build pyramids? It didn't make any sense. It's because they were just a cargo cult. They were trying to find a way to bring the gods back. That's what they were doing. A few of the elders may have had initial contact with some of these beings, but overall, they had no contact with them whatsoever other than just being a cargo cult. And the Aztecs, who were further away, a volcano erupted and destroyed their entire valley. The ones that survived went walking, looking for a new place to live, and stumbled across Teotihuacan. They moved right on in and inherited everything that was already there. That was another 100 and something years after the Mayans. So, yeah, they didn't, not to take anything away from their culture, it's just they didn't build that area. They didn't build those pyramids. It's just a known fact. Just like a lot of the modern day, well, I would say modern day, but you know, the dynastic era Egyptians, a lot of those pyramids weren't built by them, the massive ones. Now, some of the ones in Kush were built by some of the dynastic era. The Nubian pyramids were built by those people, but you can see the size in comparison to the supermassive structures that were built 30 and 40,000 years ago. So today we're going to start off with an opening meditation very shortly here. We're going to talk about hieroglyphs, light universe, the Merkaba light vehicle, Merkaba meditation, the language of light, hermetic principles we're going to touch on again because we didn't hit them all the last time, alchemy, and the mystery of Giza. So we got a little bit of a mix going on that we're going to be covering going into today. A secret society is a society whose membership, proceedings, or teachings are sacred, concealed from non-members or otherwise not open to the general public. Secret societies typically accept new members only by initiation rituals, which frequently bind the initiate by various oaths not to reveal the secrets of the society and to its non-members. So this is kind of like back in the day, what I'm going to briefly going over here is secret societies. Where did the mystery schools start from? Well, where did these secret societies start from? They started from ancient mystery schools. So deep antiquity, you would have to be handpicked to go to a mystery school and be part of the Egyptian mysteries or the Kemetic mysteries. And so you were a person that maybe had the appearance of being an adept person, somebody who could possibly become a Padawan or an adept initiate, and who was exceeding scholarly and everything else. And then they would handpick you to come in. And then so these secret societies started forming much later after some of the people that founded the mystery schools either died, left, or whatever happened to them. People would then continue to teach these mysteries, but they would either make it for darkness or for light, because the information about how this universe works and how these mysteries work and how these spells and everything else work can be used for good or evil. This is where, the Jedis come from. I'm talking about Star Wars. Star Wars copied the Jedi Knights from the ancient land of Kem. D-J-E-D-I, the Jedi Knights. And that's basically what we are all here right now. We're all Jedi Knights, every single one of us. We're literally trying to bring back in the new order, the Jedi order. We're trying to get to the next level, take mankind to the next level consciously and bring everything back as we move mankind back into the golden age. We're like the pioneers. So the skull and crossbones and some of these, you might have some of the names of these. Yeah, the Bohemian Grove, a lot of college fraternities, Freemasonry, Ku Klux Klan, believe it or not, the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, the Skull and Bones. All these things, the Triads even, those are all secret societies. But a lot of them aren't that good, obviously. But if you look at the root source, if you're able to get to the root source as close as you can to the beginning of that organization, you'll find out that it had somebody who was tied to a lot of the original information, a lot of the original mystery information, and that broke off and then decided to utilize it for their own benefit, their own agenda. So there's a movie that Denzel Washington was in, The Book of Eli. Okay, anybody saw that movie? Okay. So what was the premise behind that? The premise was this one guy who was the villain. He was looking for this one Bible. Like, I just need one Bible, because if I get this one Bible, I can control the whole world. That's how powerful that book is. Because why? Because it could be used for lightness or it could be used for darkness. And he understood that, and he obviously had an agenda. He wanted to use it for darkness, power, and control. It wasn't for money, because money didn't even exist anymore. That was like apocalyptic era after a major global war of some sort, I guess. But he wanted that book. Same thing here. So a lot of these secret societies discovered, wow, I can utilize this information and utilize a lot of the techniques in here to control massive populations, which could bring me profit, could bring me power, could bring me money, whatever it is, it can do it. So that's how a lot of these things form. Hi, I'm Billy Carson, researcher, speaker, and best-selling author of the Compendium of the Emerald Tablets and Woke Doesn't Mean Broke. I'm inviting you to join me on forbiddenknowledge.tv to enjoy hours of great programming, learn the secrets of ancient Egypt, unexplained structures on the moon and Mars, financial literacy, holistic and healthy lifestyles. Go now to forbiddenknowledge.tv and get 3 days free. While there, you can enter to win a Rolls Royce. That's forbiddenknowledge.tv. You are watching Forbidden Knowledge TV. Hi, my name is Billy Carson, and I'm the president of Forbidden Knowledge. We have an amazing investment opportunity here for anyone who wants to buy shares in Forbidden Knowledge. The money that's generated from this crowdfunding platform is going to be used to bring on a new content acquisitions partner. We're going to hire a new in-house graphics designer, a social media manager, put together a customer service team and a customer service management program that will organize and satisfy all the different legs of Forbidden Knowledge Inc., as well as, and of course, make more improved high-quality streaming content for the Forbidden Knowledge TV platform, which right now is featured on Apple TV, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, iOS and Android apps, and also, of course, the web. The streaming platform is a year old right now and doing very, very well. And we're looking for your support where you can not only be a conscious customer, but also be a part owner in an amazing opportunity that includes streaming TV, book publishing, and e-commerce. Grow with us and earn with us. Forbidden Knowledge Inc.